Next, I'd like to talk about a little bit of the cultural geography, and including the development of agriculture. That one of the early cultural hearths, like Mesopotamia and Nile Valley, was in the Indus River Valley. Again, remember, that's the major river in Pakistan, and also later in the Ganges Delta, which is generally the area of Bangladesh. Here's a figure showing the Indus Valley civilization. I'm going to post a video that discusses this in more detail. So I'm going to move on here. This is a figure showing the regions of South Asia. We'll talk about the regions individually later, but I want to use this to highlight some of the borders between the countries. We have India here, we have Pakistan, and we have Bangladesh. We also have Sri Lanka down here, an island country that's just off the coast of India. Now, let's talk about religion for a moment. Just as a recap, in the last section we talked about diffusion, and specifically we used Islam as an example. We had expansion diffusion of Islam all the way into the area of Pakistan and part of India early on by like the 700s or so. We also saw examples of relocation diffusion where Islam was brought to places like the Ganges Delta, generally the area of the modern country of Bangladesh. This is a figure showing religions of the world. And so what I want to highlight is that Islam, dominant religion in Pakistan and Bangladesh, but not in India. They are a significant minority in India, but in India, Hinduism is the primary religion. And you also have a little bit of Buddhism here in Sri Lanka as well. However, that's almost by design. That we're going to talk about the colonial period, and then what was called British India was actually divided, and the intent was to divide it along religious lines. So just to back up some, Hinduism comes from an early period called the Aryan invasion, where people migrated from other parts of the middle area, generally around the Middle East or between there and Europe, down into Iran and all the way down into India. And the traditions they brought with them eventually morphed with local traditions, became the Hindu religion. One thing I want to highlight is, if you've heard of a caste system like lower caste, higher caste people, this is something that evolved with the religion early on. It was a social hierarchy that existed that was included as part of the Hindu religion. Buddhism originated in the area of India, but is now very much a minority religion. Less than 1% of people have religion. One place that it persists is in the island nation of Sri Lanka. Islam, however, has become a very important religion in this part of the world, both because of expansion into Pakistan and India, and also relocation into the Ganges Delta, including Bangladesh. Now, somewhere in between here, between these areas where you have the Hinduism and Islam, you also have another significant world religion. It's probably about the 6th largest one. It's not the large, it's not one of the top 5, but it is one of the top 10. The religion of Sikh. And this is the region of Punjab, which is part of both Pakistan and India, but Sikhism is primarily on the India side. It's sometimes described as a blend of Islamic and Hindu beliefs, but it's really its own religion that evolved in the same region that the other ones did. I want to just show this here, that because India and Pakistan were split apart from each other, each one both has a Punjab region, because at one time, all one region together. And now what we have is a Punjab region in Pakistan and a Punjab region in India. And Sikhism, the stronghold is generally this area of Punjab on the India side. And just one quick thing about languages in South Asia, that we've talked about Indo-European languages in the past. These are the languages spoken in Europe and also in places like Iran. They're also spoken in large parts of South Asia, that as people moved from the area of maybe around between Europe and Turkey and spread out, they brought these languages with them to go. So the short of it is that many of the languages in India and Pakistan and nearby are relatives of languages in Europe. However, there are older languages, including the Dravidian family down here, which are much older than the European family, and are still parts of those family are still spoken today.